Bienvenidos, bienvenidas a un nuevo programa de Me Encanta el Swing Radio, un podcast de música en español dedicado al jazz clásico y al swing, y a todo lo relacionado con esta música maravillosa. Si te gusta el swing, te invito a unirte a este apasionante viaje a los años 30 y 40 del siglo pasado. Mi nombre es José Benito y voy a ser tu guía por estos senderos musicales. Hoy contamos con un invitado de excepción, un bailarín, coreógrafo y músico que ha tenido un papel protagonista en el renacimiento del lindy hop y del jazz dance en los años 80, que ha bebido directamente de las fuentes originales que crearon estos estilos de baile. Su nombre es Chester Whitmore. Bienvenido a Me Encanta el Swing Radio. Welcome to this program and thank you very much for coming to share your experience and knowledge with us.
Yeah, thank you very much, very much. Great to be here.
Contamos también con la presencia de Gas y Alba, bailarines internacionales por todos conocidos, que son los responsables de que Chester Whitmore esté estos días por Madrid en Big Mama Swing. Les he pedido que sean ellos los que charlen con Chester a lo largo de este programa sobre su trayectoria y su visión de la música y el baile. Muchas gracias por aceptar esta invitación y por vuestra colaboración con este programa.
Muchísimas gracias por tenernos aquí.
Un placer.
Además, le hemos propuesto a Chester que seleccione 4 canciones que presentará y podremos escuchar a lo largo del programa. Por tanto, sin más preámbulo, les cedo a ellos el micrófono.
So, Chester, I heard that you had a company for many years, which is called Black Ballet Jazz, and you toured with them around the world and performed with such bands, orchestras like Lionel Hampton Orchestra, Duke Ellington Orchestra, Count Basie Orchestra, and Miles Davis. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Oh, yeah, it was fantastic. During my early years, we were forming the Black Ballet Jazz, the first Afro-American dance company that did vernacular jazz dance all over the world. We needed to have a company. At that time, there was things like the Joffrey Ballet, the All-American Ballet Company, and the Allen Ailey. But there was nothing that protect the certification of jazz music, jazz dance in its original form. So the Black Ballet Jazz was formed, and we were around the 80s. So during the 80s, it was a long trial. We went worldwide. Now, I wanted to have a company, but did not know it was going to be a worldwide thing. We just said, hey, we'll have a dance company. But it blew up very big. And we had some impresarios by Mr. Irvin Parnes, head of the International Concert Exchange. And he said, we got a world tour. I said, God, how did I get a world tour? Well, I just had a little company. Nobody knows me. He said, they will after. And we toured around the world 19 times. And it was Yugoslavia, Bulgaria. And fortunately, the great thing, we came to Spain. Came to Spain. And that was really a knockout because Spain was one of the major places that we had jazz influence. They had an international exchange here in Spain. And we had that and then worked with a lot of the jazz artists. There, I had a chance to, from Spain, I had a chance to work with the great, what's the gentleman that did with, Glenn Miller's orchestra. But at that time, it was called the Glenn Miller Ghost Band because Glenn Miller was gone. Mm-hmm. But Glenn Miller came to Spain, and then the Black Ballet Jazz was here. We stayed, and I stayed in Spain for about half a year, and in San Sebastian. We did a BET television special here, and a lot of other great stuff. Then from there, I left and worked with Lionel Hampton for 6 months and traveled with him. And Dee Dee, the great jazz vocalist, Dee Dee Bridgewater. Black ballet jazz worked on that. And the show was called, if you look it up, it was called Sounds of America.
Chester, do you remember the pinchos from San Sebastián?
Say it again?
The pinchos from San Sebastián.
Oh, food.
It was food.
Oh yeah. Oh, sure, yeah. Boy, I was talking about that. Everybody said, you're going to get fat there. I said, as skinny as I am, I said, yeah, I tried. But every morning, it was good. Every morning, San Sebastian is shaped like a giant horseshoe. I could see the other side of the coast. I said, I want to run over there. My friend, how are you going to do? Run across the water? No, I'm going to run around the whole thing. So I ran around. And the rest of the dance company used to look at me like, you're crazy. I said, no. But it was great in San Sebastian. And I said, while I was here, I said, well, let's visit the rest of Spain. So we went to Barcelona. That was cool. Barcelona. We went into Barcelona, came in there and looked at a dance company. And I said, hey, we need to stay in shape, even though we're here. We wanted to have a rehearsal. Went in there, and this dance company said, hey, you want to take some lessons? I said, I might do that, but I'm looking for rooms to rent. They said, oh, what? I have a company here. And they said, wait a minute, we know you. I said, how do you know me? It's my first time in Barcelona. Walked in the room, and there's a whole bunch of posters of us on the wall. Black Ballet Jazz. I said, what? Because we were scheduled to do a concert there, but one of the management passed away. So that's how we ended up in Spain. We stayed here. I said, no, I'm not going back to America yet. Why don't we just stay here for 2-3 weeks and then continue the tour? And that's how we got here. So we made arrangements with the dance instructor there. They said, what? Let's do a workshop here. And we did a 3-day workshop there in Barcelona. It was good. It was fun. Fascinating. And
I have a question about your touring. How was in those time you say 1980, right?
Yes.
How was in that moment to be traveling the world and performing and doing things because nowadays we have so many flights everywhere going on. We have internet, easy facilitates to hook on tour to do things. How was for you back in the day? How old was you in that moment when you was traveling?
Well, today. The internet is very fast and you can do things and stuff. But I think it was more, to me in those days, it was more accurate. Like how some people say, how can we ever get along without cell phones? We had this. How did you guys exist? We were more accurate. Like we say, we're going to be here on April 4th. We were there on April 4th. If we had to write a letter to get some tickets ready and everything, we did it weeks in advance. So everything was calculated, bang, down. I feel that was more, to me, it was real sufficient. Nowadays, we can just do it real quick. And I think people today is more lackadaisic. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do this tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, oh, no, I got to rush. And then you rush, and then something comes up, and that delays that. Now you have problems. Knowing that you had to go, we were touring and we had airlines and stuff. We had to be right on top of it. And we gave ourselves leeway time to tickets or rehearsals, music scores. Music had to be done in advance. My music was done like almost 3 months before I left. And then if any changes needed to be done, I had alternate changes. So I know how to work the dance steps. And it came in handy because you got to be prepared for anything, being with a dance group or if you had a band or anything else. Because sometimes we walk into a stage and it's not the size we want. Now you have to, there were 15 members of us, a 15 members dance. It was John Johnson, great choreographer, Lady Helena Walker. She was the sister of the great Ben Vereen. Sheena Parks, she was on there. She was the singer in the group, but she was a Katherine Dunham dancer. And she's also the first Afro-American James Bond 007 Afro-American villainess. And the movie was called Diamonds Are Forever. So I was fortunate to have her dancing and singing in the group. But like I said, you have to be prepared and put that in your head. And because when we get to different theaters, they were different sizes. There's 15 of us. And the things that would be a big movement, I had to condense it. And then they said, well, this size is going to be made like this. Ooh. So that made me think of, I had to do alternate choreography to change it to fit. Then some places were big stadiums. I said, oh man, our movements have to be much bigger for the people in the audience to see the movement and stuff. And then also about changing clothes. You might end up with a number. You're the third act, but you got to come in on the fifth act. So whoever else is on stage, they might do a 4-minute number. So when you leave stage, you only have 4 minutes to change your clothes for you to come back on in the fifth act. So you're never stopping. When the show starts, it doesn't end until the music ends. So you're also in rehearsal. So if your dressing room is close to the curtain, of course you got to get there quick and come back out. But if your dressing room is down the hall and you have to take an elevator up, when you get to the theater, you got to jog and run and be counting the beats of music and listening to the intercom. The actor, oh my God, I only got 1 minute left. And you're putting your pants on or you're putting your high heels on and you're hopping to the stage. And then at 5, 4, now your music comes on. Dun, 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 and then you're on.
We have experience with Alba. 2 years ago, we did a show called Five of a Kind with the band and Rick Peiro. We did it in Granada. And then we was doing the thing, and then she had a really short time to change clothes. And then I did a big mistake because I was thinking like I want to help Alba. And then when I finished my act, before to change me, I take the clothes for her to try to help her to make her quick change. Yeah. And then I did, I don't remember exactly what I did, but I think that I give to her the skirt in the wrong direction. And then she was like trying to put it, and then realized there was something wrong, and then like taking out, and then the band looked like, okay, what happened? And then they keep doing, they were doing the band, trying to keep it waiting for Alba. And I feel terrible in that moment because I was trying to help, but then she fixed it, of course, like she's talented, and then she went there, she started to dance and everything, but the band was starting to look to the side, like what is going on? I mean, what is the dancer?
Yeah, see, that means, they call that put your other partner on the spot. And that's what you guys go, oh, so that made you realize two different things. That now I got to rehearse myself putting my clothes on as well as just dancing. And then the band, that's a lesson for the band. Okay, something happened. They should have rehearsed. If that takes a little longer, what are we going to do? Because they're out on the stage. So nobody else is on the stage. So the audience is looking at the band. So, okay, what the band is doing? Keep vamping. So they just got to keep vamping and they're looking to the side, and everybody's looking to the side too to say, somebody coming on? So that's a lesson for the band leader to say, if something happens, this is what we're going to do until they get themselves together,
And then also we have like if you're in the show business, you should rehearsal and training your change of clothes.
That's right. Definitely.
So I think now we're going to hear one of the first songs that you chose, and it's by Duke Ellington, Blues on the Double. Do you want to introduce a little bit?
Oh, Do Blues on the Double was a great song. I always look for certain swing songs a lot of people don't recognize. And Ellington had a great swing band, some sophisticated swing band. And this is one of the songs that Norma Miller we did in my show called The Lord of the Swing. And that was one of the openings that I did. I brought on the cast of 40 dancers and stuff. It was an amphitheater. And it's Duke Ellington kicking it off with Blues on the Double.
Here's something that Duke Ellington himself describes as merely fast jump madness. It's called Blues on the Double. Professor. The name of that one is Blues on the Double. And here we go on the double, right away from Duke Ellington and his famous orchestra. The program came to you via Mutual from the New Zanzibar, Broadway and 49th Street in New York City. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
So, Chester, everybody knows the picture, A Great Day in Harlem of 1958 with all the jazz legends.
Yes.
But there's another picture in color this time in Los Angeles. And there's a lot more jazz legends. And in the front, to the left, I actually saw you. So can you explain why you were in that picture?
Yeah, I snuck in that picture. No, for real, no. I was by my doing research and doing with the jazz dance. I was not only jazz dance. It was a book called The Blue Note or Downbeat magazine. And Downbeat features all the top jazz musicians from the past all the way to the future. And I got a chance. They saw me because of the great legendary Kenny Burrell. And he was doing a show on Duke Ellington and sacred music. It was called Come Sunday, and they needed a tap dancer. And I came in, and they said they were playing it. And I sat there and I said, that's correct, but that's wrong. And they all looked at me real funny. Well, I said, Bunny Briggs didn't do it like that. And Duke wouldn't play it like that. He would play it like this. And they said, well, would you come up here and conduct it? I said, sure, I will. And I got up there. I said, the choir got to do pizzicato. You guys got to go down here. And you got to go, okay, let's take it from the top. 1, 2, 3. And they looked and saw, he said, oh, no, you're going to stay with me. And then through him, he introduced me to a lot of great artists, Benny Carter, Ray Brown. And they noticed I was not only a dancer, but I knew about music. And then I did 3 or 4 shows with them, the people, all the other musicians do it. So when they did a great day in L.A., they pushed me right in the front because I have for all those guys said I have had a chance to work with a majority of all those jazz idiom people. I said, don't I need to belong in the back? No, stand right here. And so I had to stay here. I just did what they told me to do. And I was grateful that they got a chance. And when things come up, they called me up.
Chester, I know that you met and you learned from John Bubbles to Norma Miller. I mean, right, like so many of the greatest. I know that. We don't have time enough to talk about all of them. Mm-hmm. But could you pick maybe one artist from that era or 2 that inspired you the most and why?
That inspired me the most. All of them inspired me. But I have to say, for my dancing ability and staying right on top of it, of course, Norma was on top of me. Definitely, like I said that Norma, as far as overall capabilities of learning the art form, I would say Leonard Reed was. But as far as understanding people and the humanity of people and stuff, it would have to be Norma.
So actually, Norma also met Leonard Reed, right?
Well, the cool thing about Norma, that's why I say around those two, and not the disgrace of John Bubbles. Technically, John Bubbles showed me a lot of good footwork. But the cool thing to say, I'd say Norma and Leonard Reed was because it was a full circle. I say a full circle when I had to learn my art of dancing. It was my first Lindy Hop teacher was Archie Savage. When I asked Archie, who was your teacher? He said, my teacher was Norma Miller. I said, oh my God. Then I met Norma later, and then me and Norma became really great friends, and I stayed with her 36 years. But I noticed the way Norma is, she doesn't play. You got to do it right, and they don't do it at all, and you're going to make this look good. I said, oh my God, this woman is going to see something going to kill me. And then I said, well, Norma, who taught you? Oh, Leonard Reed. Which was my other teacher that I learned how to put shows together. And Leonard is the type of guy, no, and you're going to do it like this. I said, oh, I can see where she gets it from. Because Leonard is the only one she won't talk back to. You're very rare to see Norma be quiet. And that's only because of Leonard Reed. he taught her, nope, you're going to do it like this, Norma, and you got to learn how to do it. So now, no, it trade off on her, which traded off down on me. And all the full circle, you see the full circle between all four.
Just I remember like maybe 5-7 years ago in Haran, you and Norma taught the class together. And I think at Alba I was there. I think you was too there. And you was teaching some routine that have some like solo jazz part, also with some lindy on it. And I do remember like Norma looking at you and also yelling, no.
Oh, yeah. No. And I said, well, Norma, I told you, show them how to do this like this. Okay, Norma. The one lesson you learn, never argue with them. They know they're right because they see things that I don't see. So I had to sit back and listen and see I got to see what they do. When an instructor or somebody, those people are really hardcore. Their heart notes are hardcore. When an instructor, some people take it as, I don't want to be around that person. They're yelling at me. Or they're doing this, they're that. No. When somebody going to take the time and grab you and pull you down and say, do this again, and you're going to make this right, that means they have an interest. They want you to do well. They want you to do good. It's the ones that don't look at you and say, okay, you got it. You get the step, and walk away. Those are the ones you kind of worry about because they don't have no interest in you. They don't have no fortune. So it took me a while to understand that. I said, oh, okay. Let's see.
I hear all my students are listening to you right now.
They're all listening.
I hope they are listening
to.
Okay, Chester, so it's time for the second song that you chose, which is by Artishow, Signer. Can you tell us a little bit?
This signature, I found this piece. There's two separations of jazz. When jazz idioms came out of the urban district, and we call them territory bands, and the groove really swings and stuff. Then when society started picking it up, they call it high society. At first, they did not like swing, but they did adapt it to the bands of that time, like Benny Goodman. Benny Goodman was a territory band and high society with Jimmy Dorsey, Tommy Dorsey, Glenn Miller and stuff, and Artie Shaw. But I think this recording is really more territory grooves that Artie Shaw really captured the blues. And this is what we talked about, funky butt. Funky butt blues. Get down. Here's Artie Shaw. Get down.
So Chester, you're a super versatile artist, and I know that, like we said before, that you work with Count Basie Orchestra as a dancer and choreographer with Black Ballet Jazz, but you also play drums for Count Basie. Can you tell us a little bit of your experience with him? How was working with him, both as a musician and as a dancer?
Well, that was a knockout. I met Count Basie because of my teacher. My teacher was Roger Hamilton Spots with 2 T's. Roger was an incredible arranger, and he was the one that helped me out a lot. And he was the one who helped me get my big band together. And I was learning music and doing things. And he said, "Hey, this band's coming down. How would you like to meet Count Basie?" I said, "What?" "Yeah, he's playing at this library downtown." And then, not downtown, excuse me, it was in El Segundo. And it was an education fund for kids and people. So Count Basie's doing a free concert at this library. And they gutted out the library, had seats in there. The big band was in there playing, and they had speakers outside the library, so outside public. It was nothing but hundreds of people outside just listening to the music, just swinging. So we come up there and we sit down, and the band is swinging. I said, "How did you get there? How you know all?" He said, "But one of Basie's members was Frank Foster." So Frank Foster, and he said Frank Foster and Roger Spots were classmates in the music, and they both played saxophone. And then he said, and in the middle intermission, they said, "Come up." He said, "Hey, Frank, this is Chester." "Yeah." He said, "Have you met Basie?" I said, "No." Frank said, come on. I'm going to introduce you to him." That time, Basie was in a wheelchair, And he introduced me. He said, "Mr. Basie, this is Chester Whitmore." And they said, "Oh, hey, man." And we talked a little bit. Then he said, "I heard you play a little bit of drums." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Can you read?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Hey, give him the book." "What? You want to play with the band?" I said, whoa. Sure he wants to play with the band. Go ahead. I said, "Oh, my God. Pick 2 or 3 numbers." And the drummer took me to the side. And I went in, and I said, "Avenue C, Little Darling, and Swing the Blues." And I sat there, oh my God. My teacher said, you gotta play with the band. You gotta play with the band. I said, "Okay." Got up there, and then before I got a chance to play, I said, "Mr. Basie, do you want me to play this song in the 1938 Art Deco Bluebird session, or the Sonny Payne version?" He looked at me like, "You know both of them?" I said, "Well, I know some." He said, No, I don't want none of them. We heard them. I want to hear you." Oh. No, he said, "I don't care about that." He said, "All I matter is you swing it. Make them swing. I want to hear what you going to put to the table." Okay, let's take it from the top. And he was going ding, 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 ding. I said, "Oh man, I had to drive this band." He said, "Don't slow down. Keep them going." The horns. So I learned a lot. That was an experience, but it was good.
I have a question, Chester. You are well known as an artist, right? As a jazz artist, and you did. Some people maybe don't know, but also you choreographed some part of the La La Land movie that was recently there, and then you have a lot of in your background that we can see, easily research and find as you as an artist, choreographer, and dancer. I want to know, how was the social dance for you? How was that part? Like many people, like we nowadays we do social dancing. Mm-hmm. Not all of them are doing jazz or learning dancing for perform or for acting. Mm-hmm. They do it mainly by social, like for social reasons. Yeah. And I'm just wondering, how was for you? Like, which one do you like the most? Do you like to do swing dancing? Do you like another kind of social dancing? How was the social dancing life for you?
The social dancing life was always, to me, I thought it was fascinating and great. The difference, today some people do certain things, but for me, I connect them all. I connect the dots together. First, of course, goes tap dancing. And then I went and looked at the swing dancing, and I said, wait a minute, these guys are similar. They're close. Except the one is more dynamic with rhythmic thing. And swing is rhythm too, but you have to put the rhythm in, not just to making the audio sound, but the visual. And to me, it's kind of hard to say which is the pick one to pick one, because I hear a song and I would say, oh, this is a good tap section. Oh, here's a good swing section. Oh, here's a good vernacular, legomania section. Or this is, I will put the different elements to tell the story. When you talk about jazz, because jazz is a multi-facet art, rather than saying we have to stay structured in our box. That's why it's room for improvisation. When you learn the tools and the rules of which way to go, this note goes this way, then you present it the way you want to. So when I hear the music, I go, oh, this is cool. This might be Dixieland, or this might be New Orleans high stepping. I feel like high stepping today, walking up, You wake up in the morning, you drink your coffee, high stepping. You do certain things, you lose your job. Now you got the blues. You got blues movement. You ain't going to be moving happy on that. You move a little bit slow today. Yeah, didn't have my paycheck ready. Oh, God. But anyhow, that's what jazz is about. It's about a meaning of life and the versatility. And everybody has their own individual story. So when you say styles of dance and social, that is social, because I'm dealing with the social life of everyday people as well as somebody on the floor.
So we go to the next song you chose, and this time is by Count Basie, Blues in My Heart.
Blues in My Heart was a great number that was done in the 20s and 30s, and it was really great. I found this number, it was really cool. There's a Basie's doing Blues in My Heart. I heard Benny Carter's version of it, but it was fantastic, and I used to use it sometime as a rhythmic soft shoe, dynamic and stuff. So, Blues in Our Heart, let's hear it. Get down.
Okay, Chester, I heard in one of your talks that you were in a national TV. The musician was Little Richardson. You were the choreographer. And when the curtains were about to go up, like maybe 30 seconds before, you actually changed the choreography. Can you tell us about it?
Yep. The name of the show, in the 80s, I was doing television. I had 5 major television shows running. In those days, I was the only choreographer that had a variety show. It was the Soul of American Music, Dick Clark, Rock'em Sock'em, New Year's Eve, Miss Collegiate Afro-American Pageant, Stomp, and then I had the NAACP Image Awards. So these were some of the television shows. So we were doing the Soul of American Music that honors all the great composers and arrangers. And that time, on the show was Little Richard. Little Richard was on the show. We had Dick Clark on the show. We had Berry Gordy from Motown on the show. Lyle Hampton was on the show. So we were doing this rock and roll. And the great dancer, great college stars named Rob Van Haren was on the show. And he's in there, and he's going to do in the rock and roll section, swing. So we're doing this number, and I'm choreographing it, and I've got the band ready. Now the audience come in, national TV, the lights are on, ta-da! All of a sudden, I'm looking at this choreographer because it was bugging me, just one step bugging me. Now you toss the girl on the left, doesn't look good. Toss her on the right, come down, and you spin her downstage. So I'm looking at this, and then their man in the MC now our next act is coming on, and the band hits, boom, then the intro, about 12-bar intro before, and the curtains was going to come up in about 40 seconds, and then I said, no, I got it. And I ran out there behind the curtain, but the curtain hadn't rose up. And then I said, no, we're going to change the choreography. Everybody said, what? No. Little Richard's going, what's going on? I said, no, don't worry about it, Richard. We got it. Hand up. Look, don't toss her here. Toss her here. And you can see and I'm counting the bars and going down. It's like 15 seconds. No, we got to learn it. You'll do all right. Just do as I say. Don't toss her here. Toss her here. And free spin her downstairs. Then I ran off about 5 seconds and the curtain was up, and then they all said, they were panicking. Then they all said, dun, 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 dun. And they went into, the audience was applauding, woo, woo, woo. And I'm looking, I said, are they going to do this? And they did it though.
They did it?
Bam, bam, hit it. It was probably nerve-wracking. Their brains were about to explode, but I mean, they did it. And they went spin down. And then, and the audience applauded. And the band was going. Richard was going, that was fabulous. That was fabulous. Little Richard was crazy.
Maybe we can find that in YouTube, right?
It should be. Just Soul of American Music.
Soul of American Music.
And it's honoring Lyle Hampton, Lyle Hampton, and Little Richard, Dick Clark, and Berry Gordy. You should see that. And that's one of the opening numbers. You said, but when they come on, you'll go, what? Nobody knew the problems except us, But the dancers gave me I put it like this, they gave me an interesting look when they came off the stage. They're like,
did they work with you again after that?
They did. But they just know, they always warn other dancers, be ready for change.
Chester, I have one more question for you, and it's about it's about nowadays, right? You are part of a history, you are part of the community, you are part of the reason why we dance. And I want to know if you have some advices, even for the 3 main things, I think at the community, sorry, not 3, have 4 big things. One is the people.
Okay.
The other things are organizers. Mm-hmm. The other thing are DJs. Well, organizers and teachers. The other are DJs. Mm-hmm. And the other are bands. I think that without those things, we don't have community. Then, do you have any advice for those characters on the community? Let's say the general public, right? The dancers, the people that they come to enjoy this. The other one will be teachers and organizers.
Okay, hold on right there. Let me get the first.
Yes, you're right.
Together. I'm not fast like you.
No, it's good.
My brain's slow. But that as a dancer or the public, open public, is knowing that they love the music so much, they're going to be looking where to go. They usually find someone on the internet. They see, this looks interesting. I want to go there. Some people didn't never know. When they go there, find out what they like the most and what they enjoy. Some people never work with a live band and seen an atmosphere like that. It's like recreating, because we live in a digital world. Now they just stay at home and play video games or TikTok or all that, whatever crazy man. But when they go out, they see things. I tell them to explore, tell dancers to explore, find out what they like. There's always so many forms of dances. Find out what they like. Looking for teachers. Who's a good teacher that's going to learn. Some people have different reasons for going into dance. Some social. Some of them are choreographers. Some of them are or going to go into showbiz. As a teacher should be very sensitive enough to knowing how to brand themselves, how to get themselves known and their art form. Stay on top of the art form and don't cheat their audience. Don't cheat their students. Understand with the students because what you give them is what they're going to carry on the rest. And that reflects on them. Some people don't care. They just in the business. This is a business I do and leave. No, don't do that. That's your business is not going to last that long. It's going to die out. As the instructor, you have to know your responsibility is to teach the history, and be caring of what's happening. As far as they learn the DJs have to know what the public's like and know your history, and know also what the teachers like and the public like. To keep them on the dance floor. You got to keep them on the dance floor and also educate them through different songs. DJs must know about the different bands. Bands must know how to play for dancers to understand. It's a different tone. You can play the music straight with sheet music, but that's just a roadmap. Find out what the composer and the arranger is, what's their intent. So once you understand that, you'll play it differently, and then watching dancers dance to it. I even advise band members to take a movement class just to feel them. Oh, that's what they're feeling on the floor. Now they can play. As far as dancers with bands, only one thing that I see that's different that I don't like sometimes when we listen to a band, if somebody does a solo, we say, wow, that's great. We applaud to them. Some people just don't. The song is over. They do that because we've been so rectified in listening to music. It's a tape recording. I said, you got to remember, these are human beings on the stage that are dancing, and we have to give them that respect. And if you give them respect, they will love playing for the audience, and they keep it going.
Thank you so much, Chester.
Thank you very, very much, Chester, for your knowledge and your time. And now we're going to listen to the last song you chose, which is 1 O'Clock Jump.
Hey, we got out with the man, the only, Count Basie, and the legendary 1 O'Clock Jump. For everybody out there, will tell you, keep on swinging, because this is what's happening. So I want to see you guys get up at home with your rump and start dancing to this number. Till next time.